Hello, welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer. And just like yesterday's video, I have Joann's yarn to show you. And I have much more today than I had yesterday. Because my husband spoils me. It's that simple. I bought... Trying to get it off the floor. I bought yarns. And more yarns. Yes, I have 3 bags of yarns. Some of it I have a purpose and a plan for, and some of it I just bought because I love it. And some of it I was encouraged by my husband to buy because it was there. I am gonna pause here. I filmed in the store. We're gonna go shopping together in this cute little video. I'm going to give commentary while we walk around the store. Which was virtually empty. Not empty of yarn, mind you. This Joann's was filled to the brim with yarn and empty of people. It was crazy. I'm out of water. So I had pretty much the entire yarn department to myself with my husband and my child along. And I perused the aisles 4 times. I did 4 laps just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And each one of those laps I grabbed a yarn. I bought some of them with a purpose and some of them because they were there. And like I said, this one wasn't gonna buy, but I got it because my husband's like, just get it, just get it. So with that, I'm gonna pause here. Well, you'll see the Joann's haul video, the clip. I try to be very mindful when I'm walking through the store to pan slowly. I'm not always good at it, but I try to pan slowly so you guys can see what's in the store. And I try to be still so that it's not all over the place. So, but I'm walking and I jiggle a lot, so keep that in mind. But I tried to be very mindful, and we'll be right back and I will show you what I bought. Joann's in Fredericksburg is jam-packed full of yarn. They have a ton of the living yarn. They just don't have the inclusivity colorway that I want. They have a ton of orange. They have cotton still. Yes, I bought yarn. No, I have no regrets. It's now 30% off. The store is empty of people, filled with yarn. Corner to corner, mostly the living yarn, and I'm guessing the reason it's so late to the game is it was probably going to be released originally in June for Pride, or soon before for Pride. Red Heart. The crazy thing is, I think the only thing worth buying is the big twist. See what I'm saying? They have a lot of orange. This is a different aisle entirely. People were buying the name brand stuff. Bernat, Caron, the Yarnspirations yarn, Line Brand yarn, which is easily available everywhere online. And those stores, look at this. What is this color? Mustard. A lot of mustard. Crazy thing to me is, a little commentary while walking through the store. This is beautiful. I have no idea how much it is. People are going crazy about the name brand stuff that normally goes on sale almost every week for 30% off, which is a better deal than the 25% off it has been at Joann's. People are still going crazy. People, you gotta think. Buy the yarn you can't get other places. They have sparkle. Hot pink sparkle. They also have black sparkle. Yes, sir. I used to get those for $6. And now they're 30% off $11.99. Look at that. You need white? Juicy Couture. Extra thick. More of the Living. Ooh, this stuff is soft, but I can't work with alpaca. That's real soft. Essential wool, that feels real nice too. That purple is beautiful. And then god awful blanket yarn. Extra thick, in case you want to crochet with a rope. All right. Let me show you what I bought at home. All right, so there's that. The first thing I'm gonna show you is what Mr. Cinnamon encouraged me to buy. I have different colors of this right here, as a matter of fact. This is already in stash. I have 2 of these. And I have 2 of these. Now, I know from experience, I'm just going to set those there because they don't want to go back in. I know from experience because I've made a sweater out of 2 of these. This yarn makes a beautiful sweater. I don't remember if I used the Spring Fling t-shirt pattern, which is here on the channel, it's a tutorial, or if I used the Autumn Sunrise pattern, which is a sweater. And I don't remember which one of those I kind of based it off of. When I make sweaters, it's either one of those 2. So the Autumn Sunrise is Granny Stitches. Not squares, Granny Stitches. So it's like the granny shells all the way down. Or the Spring Fling t-shirt is actually, you can make it a sweater. It's just double crochets instead of the holy bits. But I made a sweater out of the more pastel version of this, and it took 2 balls to make a sweater with mid-length sleeves. So I bought 4 of these, and I know that I just said in the video, why are people, because the store was empty of name brands. It was almost all just big twist yarn left over, which I'm totally fine for. But I was questioning in the video, why are people going crazy over the Caron and the Lion brands? Because they were only 25% off. Now they're 30% off, but even at that, Michaels does 30% off very regularly, and Lion Brand has 30% off pretty much 7 days a week on their website. It is their constant sale. Lion Brand does not change from that 30% off. 30% off kits and new yarn. This is not a sale. It's every day it's 30% off, and they put a little timer on there like as if they're doing something. Same thing with the Caron stuff. Caron is very regularly 30% off. If you don't know this, buy 2 get 1 free is 33% off. So 25% off of any of the name brand stuff was not a good deal. The Bernat blanket yarn even was like 25% off. I am not paying that ungodly amount of money for that stuff. I can order it online and get it cheaper most of the time. And then I went and bought this. After I ran my mouth about that, I went and bought this. How much should I pay for these? I don't know, because the young man at the counter was very nice. He's like, do you want your receipt? And I was like, yeah, I want my receipt. Not because I can return anything, but I keep track of my spending. So I keep my receipts. I want to know how much at the end of the year I spent versus what I made. Okay, because if my spending is over 25% of what I made, I failed. And so, in my mind, that's how I run my business, okay? That's how I run my business. If you do it differently, cool. My straw's not quite long enough. And the straw that came with this cup is not quite long enough to reach the bottom. So, and I can feel the tickles. I have no idea how much any of this was per price, but I know that it was all 30% off. And so I think these retail for $20. No. Wow, where did the 20 come from? $11.99 generally. The Colorama Halo Generally runs for like 12 bucks. And what, 30% off of that is $4 off, I think. So they were not a fantastic deal. I probably could have got them cheaper elsewhere, but I really like this color, so I picked up the 4 that they had because I really, really like the way that these work in, first of all, a sweater, but this would also be a beautiful corner-to-corner blanket. And I really like fuzzy blankets. So, and this yarn is really nice. I am not a huge fan of Caron cakes. Okay? Not because they're bad yarns or because they're not beautiful. They're gorgeous. I have a whole stash of them. I'm not a fan of Caron cakes because for some reason I can't think of what to put them in. I can't think of what to make with them because of the self-striping mostly. So I have a whole bucket of Caron cakes over there that I love. They're beautiful. I purchased them. I love them. I can't ever figure out what to do with them, especially the way I've been blending yarn. But you guys know last week I made this with a Caron cake and a Hirschner's yarn. Love the way that turned out. Really, really pleased. Ooh, that smells good. I didn't even wash that. It's sitting on top of the buffalo. That's why it smells so good. It smells like my laundry detergent from Bath & Body Works, which smells so good. That stuff is amazing. And you only need a little bit. Okay? Anyway, that's not me trying to promote Bath & Body Works, but like, oh, that smells so good. I have used, like I said, I used 2 of these in the colorway, or not the colorway, in the sweater that I made. So I bought the 4, but I only have 4 more. So I only have 8 of the Caron Colorama Halos at all in my stash. And I showed you I have 2 of this, and 2 of this, and now I have 4 of this one. And this one is the colorway Harbor Frost. And I fell in love with these colorways when they first came out, and I didn't buy any of them, so now I have 4 because my husband told me to get them. Because I was really debating. I was like, I kept walking by it and just touching it, like, oh, it's so pretty. And I would keep on because I don't need it, and it's the name brand and all that jibber jabber I said earlier. And then I would walk by again. I was like, but she's pretty. I mean, look how pretty she is. Give the camera a minute to calm it down. Isn't she pretty? And she's so soft. I was like, So the Colorama Halo are probably my favorite Caron cakes of all time. Because I actually use those. Then I got a bag of pink. I don't know why he separated the yarns the way he did. They had big bags. He gave me a little bag for the Colorama Halo, a little bag for the pink yarn. He did this, not me. And then everything else he went and put in a big bag. This would have all legitimately fit into 2 large bags. I don't know. He was young though. Did I finish saying about the receipt? I don't think I did. Anyway, so he went to go print the receipt off for me, and it went and the receipt never came all the way out, and he looked at it like he didn't know what to do. I was like, you know what? Keep the receipt. Have a nice day. He's all right, thank you, you too. And he looked relieved that I wasn't going to fight about the receipt because he looked confused, like he had no idea what to do with the machine. I'm like, we're gonna walk away. It's gonna be fine. I don't need the receipt that bad. I don't need to know what we spent. So that's where we're at. I bought 4 of these, right? 4? Yes, I bought 4 of these because these are really pretty, and these are gonna go with my Valentine yarn, which I have a collection of Valentine yarn. I decorate this in Valentine colors every year because I love pinks, reds, whites. It's so pretty to me, like aesthetically pleasing. You can't tell I love pink, right? My hair's pink, my room's pink, my yarn's pink. Anyway, why am I looking over here? What is over here that I'm supposed to be looking at? I was thinking something is over here. I have no, my brain was thinking, so I looked, and then the thought disappeared. Anyway, I bought 4 of these. I like because my Joann's yarn is over there. I don't think I have any of these. I bought one, and I think I used it. This is the Big Twist Value in the color Pink Ombre. I did a review on the ombre. This is not actually an ombre at all. It's more like a striping yarn. It's definitely not ombre, but it's still, they're really pretty. I got 4 of them because I wanted to make sure I had enough to actually make something and finish it, because I've been doing I've been in this habit for years of, if I buy 3, I can make something. And that was back when I was doing shawls primarily, or baby blankets. You can make pretty much most anything with 3 balls or 3 cakes of yarn, because your average cake is what? 200 yards, 600 yards. I can make a pretty decent sized shawl. Make baby outfits. I can make a pretty decent sized blanket if it's not like all single crochet or something. Like if I'm doing like open stitches, I can make a pretty decent sized baby blanket. That pterodactyl upstairs is my son. In case you can hear that. He's very noisy today, okay? He's a 10-year-old boy, okay? Anyway, so I bought 4 of these. They're so pretty. And I actually, the reason I bought these, the reason I got so excited when I saw these is because I watch a lot of videos of people I've never heard of before. All of the mainstream podcasters, I don't really watch a lot of those. I don't know why, I just don't. I would rather watch somebody I've never seen before that I have never had a conversation with. I'd rather watch them than somebody that a lot of you know about. And that's just how I am, okay? And I don't generally watch yarny videos to begin with, but if Joanns pops up, I click on it, you know. And I don't have a clue who I was watching that showed these in her Joanns at some point, because like I said, somebody I never heard of and have not seen since. And she showed these in her video. She also had the rainbow colorway, which I have some of, and if I would have probably bought, yeah, it's right there. I would have bought more if I had found it in the store. But this one particular lady, like her store had a bunch of the variegated. I love variegated yarns. Love variegated yarns. I probably would have bought some more of the rainbow roller skates. I think that's the name of it. It's the rainbow one. But I was so excited when I saw this because I haven't even seen this at my local store. They had the purple and the blue, but I don't remember seeing the pink at my local store. And if I did, it was a long time ago. And while we're on the pink kick, I also saw I don't remember whose video it was. Somebody mentioned that they just wish they could find the Big Twist Twinkle. And I did, and they had it in pink and black. So I got to reach in another bag. Because like I said, he separated the pink and the black, and even though they're both the Twinkle, which means sparkles, I grabbed them because from what I understand and from all the videos I've watched of people shopping it's not an outlet, the liquidation sales, I haven't seen the sparkly yarn in any of them. And the sparkly yarn was hard to come by to begin with. So I got 2 in the color hot pink and 1 in the color black, because pink and black look beautiful together. And it's sparkly. So I bought that. And then this goes with yesterday's video. This is the Big Twist Living. We're gonna wait until the Barky McBarkingtons are done barking at nothing, probably. Although I will say the neighbor's dogs have been out all morning off and on, so we're probably barking at that. Of course, Bentley and Ponyo want back in. The last video, got up because he heard me shut off the camera to go kiss Ponyo. And he went out, and I go, as soon as he knows I'm working, he's going to be back at that door again. And sure enough, right back at the door. Anyway, this is from yesterday's video. Mr. Cinnamon bought me this color, and so I bought some of the hot pink to go with it. so that I didn't realize he bought me 4 of these. I bought 2 in the color. My glasses are right here. I don't know why I'm not putting them on. Fuchsia, because the fuchsia went with the pink. And so I figured I can spread out the yarn and make it a bigger project if I mix the fuchsia with the confidence. So, all right, that's the end of the pink. Apparently I bought 3 of that colorway. Oh, I did buy a purple. I did. You know what? I bought so much yarn I forgot what I bought. I did buy rainbow. Alright, it's been a weekend, okay? Lots been going on. Don't come at me. I showed this yarn yesterday because this was in the bag from yesterday Mr. Cinnamon bought me. And you remember, and if you watched yesterday's video, if you didn't, why didn't you watch it? That's Vogue. Now, I was showing this. I was talking about how this is one of my favorite colorways. And I made a hat and it was beautiful. And I was talking about they made purple in the living and I kept going back to it. I didn't realize I grabbed one. I think I put one of the pinks back because I think I had 4 pink. And I think I put one of the pinks back. You know what's crazy to me is I thought I bought a baby pink. And there's no baby pink in it. I swear I bought the baby pink. I must have put the baby pink back and got this color. Because I didn't remember buying this one out. Okay, back, focus. I was showing you this one yesterday. I was talking about the hat that I made, how I love this colorway. It is beautiful. And I was telling you that they had a purple one, and I should have bought the purple to go with this so that I could stretch, because he only got me 2 of these to make this one stretch. And I picked up the purple. And is it a perfect purple match? No. But it's pretty. And it probably will still go in the project together, because you're not gonna know. Just like with these. I had a couple people say I never would have thought to put those yarns together, because this is a different yarn than this one. But this one is the Caron cake. This one's the Hirschner's yarn. You see this stripe right here? It's the color of the dark specks of this. And so it looks like these yarns are supposed to go together because of that. And so even though this is a different shade of purple, if I treat these like I did that and I stripe this in, it will look like this is part of this colorway and then it's just another shade of purple that goes in with it. This is much more blue than this one is. This is a more pink purple. But I'm so happy I picked that up. I'm so glad I did that. See, I was smart. And I don't remember seeing these at all. Rainbow Bright. I don't remember. I remember the pink and getting real excited. I don't remember. And I bought these. I bought 4 of these. And I don't remember it at all. Like I said, though, this was early Saturday morning. And then I said this in yesterday's video. We went to the zoo Sunday. And then I got really, really sick after the zoo. And so I'm not surprised that I remember half of this wrong and that I thought I got the light pink and ended up with the dark pink. I'm not surprised that I don't remember any of that because of how bad I felt last night. But I'm recording this Monday in case you're confused by that. So I got 4 of the Rainbow Bright and I have 2 more in my Joann's bucket that I can see. So I have enough to make a blanket, a lapgan or such, because these are 269 yards times 6. That'll make a lapgan. And these are, like I said, Rainbow Bright. I got 4 of those. And then these 2 last yarns are probably going to confuse anybody that's been around Cinnamon Stitches for a long time, because I don't like this style of yarn. I don't like blanket yarn. I don't like chenille yarn. I don't mess with that stuff. However, I bought this one because it's fluorescent orange. They had the neon pink one as well, a couple of weeks ago and I didn't get it. And I was like, I should have got that because I could have done something with it. But this is a chenille style yarn. So it's polyester, and I don't like polyester yarns. This is the color Mandarin Orange Glow. 100% polyester. This is the Big Twist Posh, which a ton of amigurumi artists talk about how amazing this yarn is. And I'm going to guarantee that it fluoresces. It in fact fluoresces. I know that it's just bright to you. This is a black light. And so when you shine it on something, it looks that bright white. It's fluorescing. It looks bright white because my camera is trying to make sense of nonsense. Here, make it dark. It's fluorescing. And I know it just looks like a flashlight. Look at, see the difference between purple me and that bright white? It's because that's fluorescing. It's a little trick. My camera doesn't know what to do with that nonsense. So it's like, I don't know how to read that. We're just going to show it as really bright white. So I got one of the Posh because I've never used it. I don't know if I'm going to like it, love it, hate it. Don't know. It is 233 yards. It's a bulky 5. I bought this with a purpose. I want to make some Easter rabbits before Easter. And I just thought a fluorescent orange rabbit would be just amazing. So I'm going to take this design, which is just, it's a rabbit I made. And I'm going to make him to where he doesn't look so weird. So I'm going to change up his face specifically. His face, like it's a cute rabbit, but his face gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. And so I want to make a fluorescent orange, and I have one ball of the basic chenille from Premier, and I have some in the flesh tone colors that I made the booby pillows and the pee-pee pillows out of. I have that flesh tone color up there. I don't have this style of yarn at all in my stash. And I have one Minikins, which is like the parfait style. So I have one Minikins left. And that's all of the blanket style yarn or the chenille style yarns I have in my stash. I don't like it. I don't like using it. But I do want to make some rabbits for Easter because Easter is almost here. And by the time you see this, I keep trying to drink it. I can't reach it. I want to make them for gifts for Easter. And so when I saw this is the Big Twist Plush, and it reminded me kind of the Premier Basics chenille, except the Big Twist is definitely thicker, fatter, fluffier, but those colors are amazing for my son. So his bunny rabbit is going to look like this. And I think Jujus might be like, I think this one might be Jujus. I can make her a pink fleshy toned one. I don't think she would care. I don't even think she cares if I make her a rabbit or not, but I'm not going to make one for my son and not make one for her. And then I just want to make an orange one because I want to be extra and make a fluorescent orange bunny rabbit. This style. With a little fat booty. I specifically made him fat because I just wanted him to be a chunky bunny. So, but I'm going to make some changes to him. I will probably show those to you on Monday Makes. If I can accomplish making 3 or more of them. I kind of want to make RJ one too, but we're not going to tell RJ. He hasn't had an Easter basket since he was like 4 or 5 or something like that. And that's just like so crazy to me. So he's going to get something for Easter this year, even if it's a bunny. And my battery is dead, so, and that is the end of the bag, the end of the haul. I'll be right back. Let me change the battery. I just got a weird error on my camera, and hopefully I didn't do anything to destroy the other part of the video that I just recorded. So, yeah. There is a huge difference between the Posh and the Plush feel. Like a huge difference. This one is smooth and rounded. And this one is more like blanket style, like this reminds me a lot of the basic chenille multi, except this is a bulky 6. Well, they both say bulky 6. Let me show you the difference. My son laughs like a crazy person. Come on. Come on! I don't even know if you guys can see the difference. Come on. This is thicker. So, we're going to have some different sized rabbits. Because these are all different from each other. But I think I'm going to sit today on Monday. Because school is done. I have a partially made shawl that I kind of want to frog. And I think I'm going to take my fuzzy yarns. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. I ordered eyeballs on Amazon. I was supposed to show that today. I didn't show it to you. I will link these below in case anybody's interested. Because, like I said, I don't like the way his face looks. It creeps me out. And I think the eyes are funny. So the eyes they're purple. They're pretty eyes. But something about the eyes just look, you know. And I also don't like the way his face, his mouth area looks. It just, something about it looks funny. And I thought using the bigger nose would be cute. And I did a real bad job embossing his mouth. So I think I'm going to change up his snout area too. But I didn't, the eyes were really bugging me. And so I went on Amazon and I did a deep dive looking for something different. Something that looked more like eyes you would see. And yes, I can crochet eyes. I don't think I have a stuffed animal in here I can compare it to. Oh, I got stuff crashing down on me. Something that looked more like an eye from like a commercial stuffed animal. Something that looked more alive, more cartoony. I don't know. I don't know what I was looking for. I just wanted something to look less basic. I dropped my entire thing of crochet hooks. Luckily, it fell onto a pile of yarn. And they're metal, so they're not going to break. I found these. And, like I said, I got these on Amazon. I will link them below. It is an affiliate link, but, like, whatever. It will take you straight to the listing. These were, I think, $7 or something. And there's... It doesn't say how many pieces there are. Oh, 120 pieces, 14 millimeter to 38 millimeter. So if you're thinking in terms of millimeter, think of the size of your crochet hook. So if it's a 10 millimeter, it's the same width around as a 10 millimeter crochet hook, and go from there. So you want them to kind of be bigger. The bigger the number, the bigger the eyes, right? So, comes with the backs for the big eyes in here. It has, these are real scary. I don't like these eyes at all. They're just like, they're little bug eyes. And they're like really cupped. So, those are funky. But, these big flat ones are going to be so stinking cute. I just really like, this is what, this is, you know, this reminds me of like Bugs Bunny and like Roger Rabbit and like all that. So there was that one, and then this one, and then lots of different kinds, and you can flip them around and they'll give you a different face. See, he's looking, he's happy, and then he's looking up because he's a little sad. See how it changes the way their face looks? I got really excited when I saw these. A lot of the big ones are the same. Alright, and then there was this style, which this is what I was actually looking for, is this style, because this just reminds me of like Mickey Mouse's eyes, for example. Which I have a amigurumi kit somewhere that is for Mickey Mouse and Friends. I think it's up there. And there's not like Mickey Mouse eyes in there. And these are not, I mean, a true Disney fan is going to tell you these are not Mickey Mouse eyes at all. But they're the closest that I could find that was similar to my favorite art of like animation style eyeballs. And so that's very similar to what like a cartoon that I grew up on, eyeballs would look like. And if you're making the amigurumi to look more lifelike, I mean, maybe this is the kind of eyeball that you want it to look like, but I want it to look cartoony and fun, and I want it, like, I am a Disney girl at heart. I really am. I love all things Disney. And I'm not primarily a Disney lover. I love DreamWorks. There's lots of cartoon. I like watching Studio Ghibli with my daughter. So, like, just the whole art that is animation, I appreciate. And I also really like movies that don't stress me out, because the world is a harsh place anyway, that are calming, that are funny, that are relaxing, and I can get that from like Disney movies, cartoons specifically. As a matter of fact, last night I watched, I don't remember the name of the movie. There's a new movie about a robot that mothers a baby duck. And I watched that last night, and I was really hesitating because I didn't want to cry, and it looked like it was going to be a tearjerker, and it was just a good movie. And I laid and watched that last night because I was really, really not feeling well, and I was in a lot of pain. And so I laid in my bed and watched that. It was a really good movie. I think I saw it on, I can't remember what platform it was on. Let me look it up so you guys can know where to find it. Movie where a robot takes care of a duck. The Wild Robot. It's a DreamWorks film distributed by Universal. Where to watch? Where to watch The Wild Robot. It's on Peacock. That's where I watched it. It's a really, really good movie. It touches on mostly motherhood. It touches on how feral nature can be. And it touches on like futuristic things like robots taking over the world and trying to destroy nature. But mostly it's a story about mother's love. It was a really good movie. And then after that, what did I turn on after that? Oh, The Jungle Cruise, which lulled me off to sleep. The Jungle Cruise has The Rock in it, and I've been on the ride at Disney World, The Jungle Cruise, more times than I can count. I could pretty much give you the entire script. I've been on the ride so many times. My kids love it. My husband loves it. And so when I watched the movie and some of the lines from the ride, because if you've never been to Disney World, you don't know what I'm talking about. They have a ride called the Jungle Cruise. It is a boat with a boat captain on it, and you sit on the boat and it takes you through the jungle. Okay? And there's just slapstick humor, dumb jokes. It's funny. It makes me giggle. I love the jokes. And the movie, The Jungle Book, has The Rock in it, and it's a really good movie, first of all. I like The Rock. The Rock handles the comedy perfectionately. Like, it's so good because his humor is like flat. It's just, I can watch that movie and giggle the whole way through every time, and I know the jokes that are coming. Like last night I was laying in bed and he was talking about, oh God, which joke was it? I don't remember. One of the jokes. And I delivered the punchline before The Rock got to it. And Mr. Cinnamon looked at me. And then The Rock delivered a different punchline. Because the punchline was actually the second part of the joke that he was delivering. And he looked at me. He's all, that was funny. And I was like, I know, this movie's hilarious. And so, you know, I don't know. It made me ridiculously happy to watch it for the 800th time. I love that movie. Because I spend a lot of time also watching, like I said, I may have said that in yesterday's video. I don't watch a lot of yarn videos. Maybe I said that in today's video. I don't watch a lot of yarn videos. I don't watch Yarny podcasts. I have like 5 people that I watch in the Yarny community that I really enjoy. And then I will watch people I've never seen before. If I want to see a haul or like I want to just see what yarn's on the market, I will watch people I don't know. But, excuse me. For the most part, I watch trials, like murder trials. I watch crime documentaries. I watch, when it's just me and I have the TV, I watch a lot of crime documentaries and police videos and stuff like that. If I want to watch a movie, my movies are all over the place, just like my music taste. I like what I like, and there's not a genre that I stick to. If I'm in the mood for, like, if I'm real stressed, real anxiety, real just irritable, I turn on something family friendly. Cartoons sometimes. I turned on Bluey the other day just for the heck of it, because I needed something calming. And Disney specifically will calm me down. Or I will watch the Twilight trilogy. Not trilogy, I mean, it's originally a trilogy. I will watch the Twilight movies over and over again. Or there's movies from the 80s that I've seen a million times and I will watch them over again. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Pretty Woman, Dirty Dancing, Grease 1 and Grease 2. And I know that there's others, but those are the ones I watch over and over again. Or randomly, I will put on an action movie just for no reason. And I always surprise Mr. Cinnamon that I want to watch a movie like that, you know. But my taste is all over the place. And in the words of 21 Pilots, my taste in music is your face. I don't know. I really need to go fill that up. I really had fun shopping at Joann's this time. And I don't remember if I said this in this video or the last video, but the store was empty. I had the whole place to myself. I did 4 laps. I don't remember entirely what I bought, which is why we record this, so that I can look back and be like, oh, I remember. I did buy that yarn. Where'd I put it? Did I use it? Did I put it in a mystery box? So many times I misplace yarn because I put it in a mystery box. I forgot. And then someone would be like, I actually have that yarn. You want it back? No. I put it in the mystery box for a reason. Because I wasn't using it. I wanted someone... My theory is, like, I really like this yarn, but I'm not using it. I want someone to enjoy it. And that's why it goes in a mystery box. And it's usually yarns I love and I miss, but I don't want it back. I have, I don't know, 10,000 skeins of yarn up there. I do not need more. I need a bigger office. I was actually dreaming about that last night. I was dreaming about it. A bigger office. I was having one built. It was a dream. One can dream, can't she? Alright. So, out of all of these yarns that I showed you today, which one's your favorite? Which one would you want the most? Which one would you have been so excited about? I want to hear these things. Because I was excited about this one, and then when I saw the sparkle yarn, I went, oh, they have the Twinkle yarn! And then I bought 3 of them. 2 pink and 1 black. Because that pink and that black is going to go beautiful together, and it's sparkly. And I look really good in pink and black. Which is why my hair is kind of pink and black. I mean, it's not. It's pink and brown, but I really need to... I need a darker color pink, I think. Because my hair's so dark. Love that color. And then I didn't even remember that I bought this one. And also, I really thought I bought the lighter pink. Which is wild to me. I would have bet $100 that I did not in fact get this pink color, that I got the powder pink, the peachy pink. I would have bet money on it, which is so crazy to me. Oh well. Had an amazing time at the zoo. I was thinking about putting together a little slideshow for you guys in another video maybe, or Monday Makes, or I don't know. I'm just stacking the yarn back where it belongs, over on the chair. So that I can figure out what I'm going to do with it. I will probably talk about the zoo again, but in case you don't know, I have a couple of animals that I just love. I love all animals. I've always been an animal person, but big cats specifically, I don't know why. I just love big cats. And when I found out a couple years ago, I found a baby picture of me, and in my crib on the wall behind me was a picture like those old wood cutouts they used to have in the 70s and 80s. On the wall behind me in my crib was two, one was a wood wall cutout, which was Mickey Mouse. And the other one was a photograph of lions. And see, I just fit all that yarn in one large bag. All I have left is these two and these. And I have no doubt these would have fit in that large bag. I don't know why he didn't see all that yarn and put them all in the bag together to begin with. There. And these three are going to go in the living room with me with a crochet hook. And what do I do with the eyes? What did I do with the eyeballs? Did anybody see where I put the eyeballs? Lovely, I'm losing my mind. The whole Amazon package and everything is missing. Yeah, I am losing it. I'll have to find it. What was I saying? What the heck was I saying? It's completely gone. Oh, lions on the wall. Anyway, and growing up, my favorite things in the world are Disney and Mickey Mouse. Like, I have a giant poster right here of Mickey and Minnie, and they're supposed to be mimicking in the photograph. Well, it's not a photograph. The art is that they're supposed to be Walt and his wife Lily. And then I have a painting up here Mr. Cinnamon bought me, which is Mickey and Minnie watching the fireworks over the ocean, which I think is supposed to be Aulani. And of course I got Frankenstein, and there's Fallout Boy and stuff. Like, all of my art is up there, but Mickey Mouse is like it for me. And so it's crazy that I found that picture. I'm like, okay, but Mickey Mouse is still my favorite, and lions and big cats are my favorite. And those are the first images I had above my bed waking up for the first 2 years of my life. It's wild. So we were in the zoo, and we were the way the National Zoo works, there's this big giant circle that you walk around, and it's the big cats area. So some of the wedges of the big circle, so like pie shaped, are the enclosures, and in the center of that is the big cat building. So they go in there for shelter and at night and whatever. And so it's a huge thing that you walk around. Each one of the wedges is an enclosure for the big cats, the lions, and the tigers. The cheetahs were not on display, and they're in a whole different section. I would really like to see them have a whole big cat section, but there was only one lioness out. And as we were coming around to go into the walkway that goes around the big giant circle of enclosures, I heard a roar, and my whole face lit up. I was like, oh, did anybody hear that? Because to hear the animals at the zoo actually vocalize is rare. Like, you can catch them in the morning. Sometimes the animals will vocalize, but not specifically the big cats are not real vocal. They just kind of lay about, especially the lions. Lions are kind of lazy because they're not hunting. There's nothing for them to do but lay around. And the tigers very often will stalk the entire time. They just walk the enclosure, climb up on the thing. I've never seen the tigers just lay about. Lions all day long. And so to hear that roar, and I knew instantly, because my entire life have learned and hyperfixated on the way my son fixates on certain things. Big cats have been my thing. I can identify all of the many species of big cats and have a bunch of ridiculous information in my head about said species. And I know, like, I get really, really irritated when people don't know the difference between a lion and a tiger. Oh, it's a tiger and it's got a big mane. No, that's not in fact a tiger. That irritates me. And I know that it shouldn't, because some people just don't care about things like that. But for me, like, has always been a big deal. I've always just loved big cats. I know snow leopards, sand cats, and I'm talking, sand cats are actually really small. Leopards, a lot of people don't know the difference between a leopard and a cheetah if you put them side by side. can tell the difference, and I can tell you a lot of things about both of those cat species, lions, tigers, etc. There's a ton of big cat varieties that people have never even heard of, like a cloud leopard. Bobcats. A lot of people don't know what a bobcat actually is and can't tell the difference between a bobcat and a cougar, which is also called a puma or a mountain lion. So, like I said, none of this matters to anybody but me, but it matters to me. So when I heard the lion roar, I knew instantly it was a lion. And just because I know the difference between the roars, because like I said, that's a nerd fact. I love learning about big cats. And I was like, oh, and I started to like power walk over to see where the lion was. There was one lioness, and she was mad. She was standing, staring at the enclosure door and just roaring and roaring and roaring. And she sounded like she was screaming at whoever was in there. I don't know if she needed food or if she wanted one of her playmates to come out. I don't know. And she ended up retreating into the building because whatever, just she had enough. And I was able to get video of her roaring. And I walked around, and the next enclosure was empty. It was probably part of the lion enclosure. They have females and males, but they're separated because of they don't want a bunch of cubs running around. And they also have talked about, I stood and listened to them lecture at that specific zoo about the fertility of the lions, and they can't give them something for fertility because it will eat. They usually give them, I believe it was the shot, the same exact hormone shot that humans get. They were giving to lions for a long time, and they realized that a short-term problem was making a long-term problem because the shot was making them infertile, period. They couldn't come off of it and then have babies later on. And so they keep the males and the females separate because they don't want cubs, and they don't responsibly want to use birth controls for the animals because it can damage them. And then they went on to talk about if you use any kind of birth control treatment or you fix a male lion, so you give them the snip to fix them, they will lose their mane. Their testicles and their mane are synonymous. If you don't have one, you don't have the other. And so he was talking about that. I was like, that's really fascinating. Like, a male lion will actually lose his mane if he gets fixed. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? So, speaking of wild animals, little Miss Ponyo's at the door. She wants Grammy again. She just wants a kiss, and then she goes about her business. I'll be out in a few minutes, okay? She's such a good girl. You see her just walk away. She's all right. She's so smart too. She's such a good dog. Anyway. So then I'm walking around, and Mr. Cinnamon is sitting on a bench. He knows that if I'm by the big cats, I'm going to be there a while. And in the past, like years ago, he was like every other man I've seen at the zoo. They want to look and they want to move on. Look and move on. Look and move on. Okay, we saw that. We're done. All right, come on, let's go. Every dad at the zoo Sunday was the same way. Like, all right, well, we're not waiting around here. Let's go to the next animal. We got other things to see and do. I am not one of those people. I want to sit and enjoy the animals. I want to sit by the big cats for hours if I want. You're not going to rush me. So he knows. He went and sat down because we've had this argument years ago. This is where I belong with the big cats. I just feel connected with them. I'm also a Leo, so I mean that might have something to do with it, but I really don't think that's it. So I'm over talking to him, and I hear a very distinct roar, but it was more like a meow roar. And I looked at him. He's all, "Is that the lion?" I said, "That's the tiger." Me and all my infinite wisdom, I knew the difference between the two roars. And I was like, oh, I gotta go. And I run around because it's all pie-shaped, I run around to the next enclosure, and the tiger is just roaring. But they almost roar like meow, meow. Like it's drastically different than a lion roar. And I went over there, and he was just mouthy. and he was just upset, and he was sniffing and rubbing his face on the ceiling of the cement den. And these people next to me are like, what is he doing? I bet there's a sprinkler in there and he's trying to get water out of it. And I said, no, he's sniffing because of the spray. And they're like, oh, I said, yeah, sometimes they spray in there to, you know, whatever. And it's called enrichment. And I was correct in the fact that he was smelling for spray, but it was the wrong kind of spray, because he sprayed that den 100 times. He just kept going over there and spraying. Okay. I know it's gross, but whatever. So he was smelling. Apparently another tiger had been in his enclosure and he was going to mark it over and over again. And then he started yelling because he was angry about whatever. And he was just meowing, roaring like over and over and over again. Got video of that. Made me super, super happy. Couldn't carry my camera though, because my neck was really, really bothering me. And so Juju actually took all of the pictures. Like I said, I'll make a video of these things for you guys. Maybe we'll have just a zoo video tomorrow and we'll talk about like the experience of, well, I'm already telling you everything, but we'll do pictures and videos and stuff. I'll make a video for you guys so you guys can go to the zoo with us, because I like sharing those experiences with you. And I know some of you are homebound and you love the zoo or maybe can't get out. And I want to make that for those people. And so I just have to, there's a lot I got to do before that. That'll be like a special Saturday or Sunday video or something like that. Not members video, but it'll be a special weekend edition of Cinnamon Stitches where we go to the zoo together. But it made my whole day. And honestly, when I saw the lion roaring like that, and she was doing it for a while, I almost broke into tears, because it's really, they will roar in the morning or in the evening, but they don't generally roar for no reason. And that's at like almost any zoo thing. I don't know how they are in the wild. I mean, they probably roar all day long if they want, but in a zoo situation, it's rare to hear them roar because they have everything they need. They don't have like, issues. They don't allow them to fight. So it actually made my eyes well up. I was like, oh my God, like the lion is roaring. And then we go around to the tiger, and then the tiger's doing it. And I was like, oh, this is just too much. This made my entire day. It was so stupid, but it made me so happy. And then this little girl comes up to where we were standing by the lion, and she's all, oh, it's a lion. And her mom's all, that's not a lion. And the little girl goes, and the little girl's like 4. She's all, yes, it is. It's a female lion. The mom goes, that's not a lion. Where's its mane? And the little girl looked at her mom like her mom was a moron and goes, it's a female lion. It's a female, Mom. Mom, she's a female. I don't think that's a lion. I think you're wrong. I was like, oh my God. I looked at the little girl. I said, she's beautiful, isn't she? And the little girl just smiled at me. Because the little girl was right. I like talking to little kids when we're at places like that and teaching them something maybe they didn't know. I had a whole conversation with this cute little girl who was probably, again, about 4 or 5. She was looking at this big giant snake behind the glass. And I was leaned all the way in. I love snakes. I love snakes. And I was looking at how beautiful the texture of his scales were. And she stands next to me. She's all, I want a corn snake, but my mom won't let me have one. And I was like, yeah, snakes are a lot of work. And you know, they're really hard to take care of because they are a lot of work for a little girl like that. And she's all, I'm going to get one day. And we're talking about the snakes and stuff. I say, you know what? The best part about growing up, you can do whatever you want. And her whole face lit up. Her mom just looked at me and smiled. And they gave her the okay to have a snake in the future, but just as long as she's not in her mom's house is what the mom was like giving me, you know. And then we went on to the next one, and me and the little girl were just having a conversation about snakes. Snakes are fantastic. And we were talking about the turtles. I told her I used to have a turtle. I said, turtles stink real bad. Their tanks stink. And she's all, yeah, that's why I want a snake. I'm like, yeah, but are you prepared to feed the snake dead animals? Because I don't think you are, and I know your mom's not. But it was a really cute time. And little man is more of a daddy's guy. Like, he wants to hang out with his dad, so I don't really have those conversations with him when we're at a place like that, because he's always with his dad and not with me. But he also, I think he got bored towards the end because animals are not his thing. But I also think it was an education opportunity for him to see the animals too and learn a little bit about just what the animals eat, maybe what the animals do. I think zoos are really vitally important to kids because we need to learn to take care of the planet, and the animals and stuff we're going to destroy it. And I really love Steve Irwin's philosophy on that we need to teach this to our kids because conservation is important, you know. And I've always followed Steve Irwin's family like this whole time because I think the lessons he taught to me as a teenager are still there. And if I hadn't got exposed, if I would have had the opportunity, because I was really poor and we didn't have stuff like that, or like we had the Detroit Zoo, but there was not aquariums and stuff. I think if I would have got exposed more and had someone to actually say, hey, you can go to college for this, I think my life would have been drastically different. I think I probably would have been in veterinary medicine and zoology specifically, because that has always been the dream, but I never had the opportunities to visit places like that growing up. Like, it was very rare we went to the zoo. And I went to an aquarium for the first time when I was in my late 20s. And oh my God, it just impacted me so greatly. And I know that some people are like, oh, zoos are so horrible, like they're locked up. But those places give children an opportunity to say, hey, I want to do this when I grow up and make a difference. I want to save the endangered species. I don't remember what animal it was, but it said there was only 280 left in the wild. And I'm like, that's extinct at this point. Like, that animal's almost gone. It's just wild, you know. And we got to see pandas. The pandas were so cute. One of the pandas climbed up the tree and then climbed back down. And he kept running in circles. He was so cute. I just had a really good time at the zoo. I paid for it afterward because my body went into full flare-up. But it was a really good weekend. My husband came home. I got yarn 2 days in a row from Joann's. And I went to the zoo. It was just a really good weekend. I know this is usually content I save for Monday Makes, but I want to share it while it's fresh in my mind. Because today in my world's Monday, even though you're not seeing this till Thursday. I just feel so happy and relieved and calm today. And last week that was a different story, and I'm really happy today. And now I'm starting to feel weepy, so I'm gonna let you guys go because I don't want to cry over something so stupid as yarn and zoos. But thank you for listening to me and looking at my beautiful yarn. Wait, I also want to know, aside from, so you can leave a second comment. Aside from which yarn would you have been the most excited to come across in Joann's? Which one of these do you think is going to make the cutest bunny rabbit? The Premier yarn, the multicolored, or the orange? And I know most of you are probably going to say this one. So I'm going to go crochet, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.